Red shoes. In a small village, there once lived a beautiful young girl named Karen who resided with her mother in a humble hut. Karen was quite poor and possessed no proper shoes, always wearing the hard wooden shoes her mother had painstakingly crafted for her, which often caused her feet to ache. A challenging time arrived when Karen's mother became very ill, and Karen dedicated all her time to caring for her. One day, as Karen was returning home, she stumbled upon a peculiar sight: a box resting on the sidewalk containing a pair of vibrant red shoes. Karen was immediately captivated by their beauty and decided to bring them home. However, her mother was far from pleased to see the red shoes, sternly cautioning Karen, you must never pick up anything off the road. They may belong to someone. This is stealing. Somebody must be looking for their red pair of shoes. Karen, in her youthful defiance, retorted, then they should have been more careful. Mama, finders are keepers. Her mother, deeply concerned, implored, oh, car. And don't be so stubborn, my child. I know we are poor, then I can't buy you shiny new shoes, but our poverty must not make us do wrong things. Promise me that you will never wear these red shoes. Karen, though sad, could not bear to break her mother's heart and promised not to wear them. Nevertheless, as time passed, she found herself unable to stop thinking about the striking red shoes, musing to herself, mother does not understand. If these beautiful shoes were thrown on the road, then maybe nobody needed them. Approximately 1 week later, tragedy struck as Karen's mother succumbed to her illness and passed away. Karen was overcome with immense sadness, but in a remarkably unusual act, she chose to wear the very red shoes to her mother's funeral. Everyone present at the funeral stared conspicuously at Karen's feet, yet Karen remained indifferent, completely enamored with her new shoes. At that solemn moment, and kind old lady happened to be passing by the funeral in her carriage. Upon learning that a young G.I. RL had been orphaned, she compassionately decided to adopt Karen. The old lady invited Karen, saying, oh, come with me. I'll give you a house to live and good food to eat. You must study hard and make a name for yourself. However, her attention was immediately drawn to the red shoes on Karen's feet, and she exclaimed, oh, what are those on your feet? Why did you wear them on your mother's funeral? Those are ugly. Take those off. Karen stubbornly replied, no, I like them. They are mine. The old lady, though firm, gently persuaded, good child, don't be so stubborn, but I will give you a good pair of shoes to wear. She then compelled Karen to remove the red shoes. Karen was deeply saddened to part with them. The old lady, who had no children of her own, treated Karen with the affection of her own daughter, providing her with a new room, beautiful new dresses, and a new pair of blue shoes. Despite these comforts, Karen continued to miss her red shoes, often pondering, why doesn't anybody let me wear my beautiful red shoes? I will wear them someday, and then nobody could stop me. Years steadily went by, and Karen blossomed into a beautiful young girl. However, as she matured, so did her inherent stubborn nature, making her a difficult child. Her defiance was evident in simple acts such as her declaration, I will not eat this, even when presented with a delicious meal that the old lady had already prepared. Despite the old lady's pleas for her to at least taste the food, Karen would rather declare she would rather starve. The old lady, filled with love for Karen and unwilling to see her suffer, consistently yielded to Karen's unreasonable demands. As more time elapsed, all of Karen's old clothes and her blue shoes became tight. In short, the old lady recognized the necessity of purchasing Karen new clothes and shoes. As they entered a shop to buy shoes, Karen's eyes immediately fell upon a pair of red, shiny shoes, remarking with delight, oh, they are exactly like the ones I had when I was small. I want them now. The old lady D. Smade responded, oh, the red shoes again, Karen, buy the ones that you can always wear. What if we have to attend a funeral? You can't wear red shoes to a funeral. It is disrespectful. I have little money. I can't buy you 2 pairs of shoes, else we will have to walk back home. My feet hurt now. I can't walk. But Karen, utterly overjoyed at the sight of the red shoes, paid no heed to a single word the old lady uttered, declaring, I don't care. I love them, and I want them. You don't buy me these, that I will walk barefoot for the rest of my life. The old lady, despairing, warned, don't be so stubborn, my child. This will cost you something someday. Yet Karen remained deaf to her words. Ultimately, the old lady, having no other choice, had to purchase the red shoes for Karen along with a pair of black shoes. This purchase left the old lady with no money, forcing them to walk all the way back home. Throughout the journey, the old lady winced and crouched with pain, while Karen, oblivious, danced and swirled with the wind. ogging and singing, paying no attention whatsoever to the old lady's aching feet. The very next day, the old lady was obliged to attend another funeral in town. She instructed Karen, "Karen, we have to go attend a funeral in the town. Come with me. But don't wear those red shoes. It is disrespectful." Karen, upon entering her room, first considered the black shoes, but then her gaze shifted to the red shoes, and she chose to wear them instead. She cunningly hid her feet beneath her skirt, hoping the old lady would not notice them. Throughout the funeral service, people continually looked at Karen's feet, and whispers of gossip circulated about the girl who showed no respect for the deceased. Eventually, someone informed the old lady of what had transpired, and the old lady became absolutely furious. She grabbed Karen's hand and led her out of the funeral, scolding her, "What have you done? I have asked you to not wear these here. Why don't you ever listen?" Karen defiantly retorted, "But these are my shoes. I will wear wherever I want to." An old soldier who happened to be passing by witnessed the entire heated exchange. As the old lady and Karen began to walk toward their carriage, he approached Karen, kneeled down, and whispered to her, "Shoes, be stubborn, just like your owner, and dance fast." As you dance, the old soldier then gently patted Karen's feet. Karen, flattered by his words, protested, "No, sir, please get up. What are you doing?" The soldier replied, "Oh, I was only admiring your beautiful red dancing shoes. You must be a brilliant dancer." Karen was very pleased by this compliment and, eager to demonstrate her dancing prowess, began to dance a few steps before boarding the carriage with the old lady. However, to her utter dismay, she suddenly could not stop dancing, exclaiming, "Oh, why can I stop dancing? Why don't my feet stop? What is happening to me?" The old lady cried out, "Oh, Karen, what are you doing? Come back here." But Karen was already far ahead of the carriage. The red shoes were no longer listening to her. They were now stubbornly in control. The shoes mercilessly carried Karen into the depths of the forest, forcing her to dance relentlessly. Karen's feet became excruciatingly sore and her back ached from the incessant movement. She found herself unable to sleep or eat, and she deeply missed her comfortable house and her soft bed, but even more so she longed for the old lady's presence. Yet the shoes continued their relentless dance day and night, leaving Karen utterly exhausted. No one could come to her aid, and Karen became increasingly terrified. The shoes dragged her through thorny bushes, leaving her feet badly injured. Finally, with immense effort, Karen managed to pull the red shoes off her feet. The shoes, though detached, continued to dance wildly on their own. Karen's feet were now broken, rendering her unable to stand. Without the support of a stick, she cried out, "My legs hurt. I want to go home." Karen somehow managed to make her painful way back home, only to find that the dancing red shoes were still following her. The old lady was overjoyed to see Karen return, offering her food and insur. She rested the next day. Karen wished to go out to the market, but as she opened the door, she was startled to discover the red shoes right at the doorstep, still dancing and effectively preventing her from leaving the house. Both Karen and the old lady were surprised by the sight of these seemingly magical dancing shoes. Karen soon had a profound realization. This entire ordeal was her own fault. She lamented, "I shouldn't have been so stubborn my whole life. I have been as stubborn as the red shoes. I can't leave my house. I can't go to school or market. I can't go anywhere. I feel so sorry. What do I do now?" The old lady, seeing Karen's genuine remorse, gently advised her, "Oh dear, why don't you pray for the magic shoes to be gone? If you are truly sorry for your behavior, your prayer will be answered." Karen heeded the old lady's words and began to pray continuously day and night. When she finally opened her eyes, she was astonished to see the old soldier from the village standing before her. He spoke to her, saying, "Child, I'm glad that you have learnt your lesson. As you have now let your stubbornness go, so must the shoes." Uttering these profound words, the soldier vanished, and concurrently, so did the red shoes. Karen and the old lady were now filled with happiness and a sense of peace. Karen, having learned her painful lesson, resolved to study diligently and vowed never to allow the influence of the red shoes representing her past stubbornness to enter her life again. The story imparts a clear warning: don't you be stubborn, children. It will cost you someday. Analysis of the story's core themes and Karen's transformation. The narrative of the red shoes is a powerful cautionary tale, primarily exploring the destructive nature of stubbornness and disobedience, embodied centrally in the character of Karen. From the very beginning, Karen displays a defiant streak, notably when she finds the first pair of red shoes despite her mother's explicit warning that taking things from the road is stealing. And at the shoes likely belong to someone else. Karen dismisses these moral boundaries with a self-serving justification of finders are keepers. This initial act sets the stage for a pattern of behavior where Karen prioritizes her desires over the wise counsel of her guardians and the dictates of proper conduct. Her immediate attraction to the shiny new shoes or beautiful red shoes highlights a dangerous focus on materialism and superficial beauty overriding concerns of morality or respect. Karen's decision to wear the red shoes to her mother's funeral, directly breaking a solemn promise made to her dying mother, is a pivotal moment that underscores her profound lack of respect and self-control. This act of defiance committed at such a sacred and sorrowful event draws stares and gossip, indicating a social transgression. That Karen brazenly ignores this instance of disobedience and disrespect foreshadows the greater consequences that her stubbornness will inevitably incur. The old lady's adoption of Karen represents an opportunity for redemption and guidance. The old lady who treats Karen like her own daughter attempts to instill proper values, immediately removing the red shoes and providing more appropriate footwear. However, Karen's inherent stubbornness continues to grow with her unreasonable demands and refusal to comply with simple requests such as eating a meal demonstrate a willful disregard for the old lady's efforts and kindness. The old lady's repeated capitulation to Karen's demands due to her love and unwillingness for Karen to starve inadvertently reinforces Karen's unyielding nature, illustrating the potential pitfalls of enabling such behavior. The acquisition of the second pair of red shoes marks a critical escalation of Karen's stubbornness. Despite the old lady's limited financial means and physical pain, Karen's insistence on having the red shoes again, even threatening to walk barefoot for the rest of my life, showcases a profound selfishness and lack of empathy. Her joyful dancing on the way home, oblivious to the old lady's aching feet, further emphasizes her self-absorption and detachment from the suffering of others. The climax of Karen's self-inflicted misery arrives at the second funeral, where she again defies the old lady's direct instructions and wears the red shoes, hiding them behind her skirt. This act of deceit and blatant disrespect, leading to renewed gossip, and the old lady's furious reaction serves as the final catalyst for the supernatural intervention. The old soldier, observing Karen's persistent defiance, acts as an agent of retributive justice, whispering to the shoes to be stubborn, just like your owner, and dance fast as you dance. This magical curse directly links Karen's internal stubbornness to the external uncontrollable force of the dancing shoes, turning her greatest desire into her torment. The shoes become a symbol of her unbridled will and its devastating consequences, trapping her in an endless painful dance that strips her of her autonomy and peace. Karen's subsequent ordeal, enduring sore feet and back, sleepless nights, hunger, and being dragged through thorny bushes, represents the harsh reality of uncontrolled self-will. This period of suffering forces Karen into a profound introspection, her eventual realization that this all was her fault and that she has been as stubborn as the red shoes signifies the beginning of her transformation and redemption. This moment of self-awareness and genuine remorse is crucial as it leads her to pray for deliverance as advised by the old lady. The reappearance of the old soldier and his declaration that Karen's release from stubbornness frees her from the shoes control highlights the moral lesson of the story. Freedom and peace are attained not through defiance, but through humility and repentance. Ultimately, Karen's journey from a disobedient and self-centered girl to a remorseful and reformed individual underscores the story's central message: her decision to study hard and never let the red shoes enter her life again symbolizes her commitment to a life of discipline and a rejection of her past stubborn ways. The story's concluding warning, "Don't you be stubborn, children, it will cost you someday," serves as a direct address to the audience, reinforcing the universal moral implications of unchecked will and its inevitable repercussions. The red shoes themselves transition from symbols of desire to embodiments of punishment, ultimately becoming the very mechanism through which Karen learns her most vital life lesson.